Oh, it's a legislative session. So first of all, call to order. If everybody could please say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all. Thank you. This is the legislative session of the Mayor and Council for Tuesday, January 5th, 2021 at 7 p.m. We are holding this meeting virtually through WebEx. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none, the agenda is approved as presented. I'm going to Mayor and Council Member event announcements. I will start in Ward 2 with Brian.
We need to read the agenda, so.
Oh, that's right. I'm not the, yeah. I got to do
Everybody's on WebEx, I don't think.
Yep. Sorry about that. So I can get that done. So we have number 1, call to order, 2, review of the agenda, 3, Mayor and Council event announcements, 4, public comment, 5, Ordinance 10-2020, amending Section 6112 of the Mount Rainier Code concerning weeds and vegetation height and landscaping techniques. Number 6, Ordinance 11-2020, Budget Amendment Number 1. Number 7, Resolution 01-2021, Municipal Greenhouse Gas Resolution. Number 8, Charter Amendment CA 01-2020, Elections. Under new business, we have number 9, Ordinance 01-2021, amending Section 11-110 to eliminate the requirement of an appointment in December, January, and February for yard waste. Number 10, Mayor, Council, and City Manager reports, and number 11, adjournment. I will now go to Mayor and Council event announcements. Brian?
I don't have anything.
Okay, Scott?
I will only say, if you can't, stay home if you can, because hospitalizations that are an all-time high right now, as are daily case totals. So if you don't have to be somewhere, please stay home. So I have no event announcements either.
Okay. I'll move to Ward 1. Selena?
Yeah. Just to remind people that next Thursday we'll be having food distribution at Queenstown. And on Tuesdays, we're going to be having food distribution at the firehouse. Volunteering, and a couple of neighbors are volunteering with Hillman Church, and we are providing food to make sure there's at least in two parts of the city. Other than that, I guess I'm joining another international forum tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. So we're going to have panelists from El Salvador, Mexico, Costa Rica, and a variation of them talking about green jobs and infrastructure, and how do we see the future, present, and presently and in the future when it comes to jobs and green infrastructure. But so I'll share that out. It's going to be in Spanish. All the panelists will be talking in Spanish, but if you want to hear it, you're more than welcome to also hear the ideas of what other countries and cities from other parts of the world are also working on. So that will be my 2 at least announcements. And the other one, I'll do it for events, is like the neighborhood pantry will be changing their date from Wednesday to Saturdays. And Angie's gonna confirm with me whether starting this Saturday or the next one, but that change is gonna take place. So be aware that is coming. So I'll leave that as events for right now.
Okay, thank you, Selena. For myself, I just have one event to announce. Last legislative session in December, we passed the Native Plant Network legislation, which the Sierra Club's Maryland chapter has taken up in an effort to sort of spread this legislation to different municipalities and create a native plant corridor across the state of Maryland. We are having monthly meetings with the Sierra Club. If you're interested on that, our next meeting is Thursday, January 21st at 8 p.m. You can sign up at the you can just Google Sierra Club Maryland chapter calendar, and it'll pop up January 21st for a meeting discussing the native plant corridor. I believe it's called Native Plant and Wildlife Corridor. So if you'd like to sign up for that, you can sign up there or just shoot me an email, lchesick@mountrainiermd.org. Thank you. Okay, we will move on to public comment. John, do we have anybody who has signed up for public comment? Or if you are from the public and on the call and you want to just say something in the chat box, we can give you time for public comment.
I know Danielle Carter wanted to speak with Mayor and Council tonight about a proposed project from the Recreation Committee.
Okay, Danielle, do you want to go ahead and speak?
Well, actually, the mayor asked Brian and I to be on the call. Brian is also on the call to answer any questions pertaining to the lighting thing for the inaugural Eve event and memorial.
Okay.
Can we add that to the agenda? I think that's the part that was missing, so that way we're in context.
Yeah.
Okay.
We add that to the agenda.
Second.
Okay. Anyone opposed?
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, there you
I think I'm almost on. I'm almost there. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
We can hear you.
Okay, yes. The item that you're trying to get on the agenda has to do with the lighting at the City Hall for inauguration. And I wanted to ask to have it added to the agenda.
That's what we're doing now.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, do we want to put this first after public comment so that those residents can get out of here if they need to?
Yes.
Okay, we will go there after public comment then. Hearing no objections, we'll place that as number 4. Okay, and then I see in the chat box we have potentially one other public comment. Sarah, Sarah's there chair from the Green Team. Sarah, would you like to just say a few words?
Sure. I'm just here in support of the ordinance amending the code concerning weeds, and also in support of the municipal greenhouse gas legislation.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. If there's any other public comment, please put it into the chat box, and I'll give it about 15 seconds here to see if anybody has a comment. And then once we get past public comment, Mayor, I'll ask if you want to take back over control of the meeting.
I can't seem to keep up, but go ahead with it, please.
Okay. Okay, seeing no more public comment, I will move to a discussion on the Inauguration Eve event. And Mayor, I will turn it over to you for that discussion.
Thank you so much. I apologize for not being able to do video. My computer actually shut down about 20 minutes before it was time for the meeting to start. So at least I've been able to get it to this point. Danielle and Brian are both residents here in Mount Rainier. And one of the things that was being proposed was that to show support for the inauguration on Inauguration Day and a few days after, that we light City Hall up and the plaza and area as the city's show of support during that process. And Brian, I've seen his lighting work before. He does a tremendous job. And Danielle and I talked about it, and Brian said he would love to do it. And I said, why not? And so I saw a couple of comments back from you all indicating that you would support the idea. I don't know if you have questions, but I asked Danielle and Brian to be on so that you could answer any questions they could answer any questions you may have. Do you all want to say anything, Danielle, Brian, before council responds?
Yes, I do want to make one correction. The event is in response to President-elect Biden's call for a memorial on Inauguration Eve.
Yes.
And so it would be Inauguration Eve, and Brian, I'm going to let him speak to this, is willing to add another day at no extra cost to change the lighting for an inaugural, color instead of from the memorial to inauguration. So it's actually the memorial, not for a few days after.
Okay. I keep going in and out, so if you all lose me, I'll get back in as fast as I can.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay. So with that having been said,
No, and we lost you a little bit there, Mayor. And I think we may have lost you completely.
Entirely.
Okay. Brian,
Which Brian?
sorry, Brian Nedler, do you have any questions? I'll start with Ward 2.
Are we going to be able to stream this on the website or on Facebook so that people can see it? Because I know a lot of people aren't going to go down there to see it. I mean, you could drive by it, I guess, and not have to get out, but it'd be nice if we could have a video of it. And actually a video we could play on the city's channel, TV channel too.
That might be a question for Latasha. Latasha, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. That is possible. I think the question should be that to answer your question, yes, that's possible.
Okay, so if that's something we want to go through with, we can get that done. Scott, do you have any questions from Ward 2?
Hey, Brian and Danielle, thanks for being here. Appreciate that. I appreciate that you sent the agreement proposal to us about 3.5 hours ago. I didn't actually see it though until about 5 minutes ago, so I haven't read it. So
Sure.
I don't feel great about voting on something that I don't know what it is. I don't know if you're asking us to vote tonight or not. But it's 4 pages long, and I know I haven't read it yet. I'm not sure if the other 4 people have read it or not. I think it says the cost is $3,000, but I'm a little confused about that. It also says the cost is different depending on what type of payment method we use. So I like the idea on its face, but I don't know enough to be able to vote on this, especially if it's asking us to spend several $1,000s. I would just as soon spend that money on food or rental assistance for people in terms of the impact the pandemic's having rather than lighting. But I'm not automatically a no. I'm definitely open to it. I just need to read the proposal and understand what's contained in it and know how much it costs before I'd be able to vote on it.
Okay, maybe I'll turn that over to Brian Miller. Brian, if you want to just expand on that a bit for us. I have not read the agreement, but I did pull it up on another screen, so I'm looking at it right now as well.
Sure, I would be happy to. So the proposal that I've written up has us installing lights around the City Hall. One moment, please.
Brian, I think you want to unmute. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, sorry, I was having some audio difficulties here at the house. So what I've proposed is they'll come in and set up a lighting package around City Hall, lighting up the exterior of the building, also the interior of the building, to participate in what President-elect Biden has called for an evening of unity and remembrance for the victims of COVID-19. This package would be installed after hours, possibly even over the weekend, to ensure we can all be as safe as possible, and then removed either in the morning or at night, but also in coordination so we can get in and out without putting anyone in danger. The package would consist of uplighting around the exterior of the building. I've proposed doing in a kind of a warm amber color on the exterior, and then inside the building, highlighting it with a cooler kind of a lavender color, creating a very elegant and somber memorial look, and then transforming that the next evening into a more patriotic red and blue with patriotic white stars projected onto the front of City Hall. We could also be lighting up the memorial tree with uplights around that, and if there is some sort of plaque that's created in honor of the COVID victims here in Mount Rainier. I'd be highlighting that as well.
Okay. Are there any questions for Brian while he's just presented that?
If I can interject something, if I may real quick.
Yep.
This money is coming out of the recreation budget. We've asked for it to come out of the recreation committee budget. So you wouldn't have to try to find the money. It's already been found. And this is money that we would have otherwise spent on the Spring Street scene and the annual community yard sale, which we're not going to be doing again this year. And I spoke to the other active member of the recreation committee, and we can't find a better way to use that money than to honor those that we have lost and those who we will lose.
Okay. And was there a, did the recreation committee meet and vote on this?
Yeah, the two of us got together and we talked and we said, yeah. And with our liaison, we have not spoke with Selena, but we did speak with John. This has happened. I just found out last night that Public Works said it was going to come out of our budget. So this is all like mad rush with all of that.
Okay. I see Mayor's back on, maybe. I see a Melinda 4. Mayor, is that you? Okay, Selena, I'm going to go to you. And do you have any questions?
Just one question. I know the agreement says that lighting it inside City Hall. Because City Hall is closed, we might not need lighting inside, but maybe projecting out. So that's something to consider. Other than that, I would say that we all need healing. There is, I actually have to attend a funeral this Saturday, as a matter of fact, but there has to be a minute for us to be able to at least breathe and honor the people that we lost in the past, months, especially like our county that has been very hard. So I think part of the reason why I like this is because it does that, it gives us a minute to like breathe and think and recenter, because this is not going away. So we also need to find that amongst us. So it is coming out of the rec budget. I had I did speak. I mean, I have seen the proposals. I've seen some of Brian's work before, and not just in Mount Rainier, but also out in other events. It's very spectacular. He's very professional. So I'm definitely in support of it. And it's a way to also bring the community together, even if it's mean through like Facebook Live for them to unite in this. So I definitely will agree with Brian Neller that it needs to be either televised or put in our social media, so that way people could also join, and then we could also link when it comes to other cities in this. So I will stay at that. Thank you both, Danielle and Brian Miller, for the presentation.
Okay. And Mayor, I can see you now, so I'm going to turn it back over to you.
I think I'm actually in. Can you all hear me too? All right, good. Thank you. Thank you. How's everybody? Very good. Thank you. And thank you for taking over and running this loop. I didn't think I was going to make it, but I've been working on it for almost an hour. All right. Council announcements have been done. You've done this. I guess we're up to number 5, ordinance 10.
We're still talking with Danielle and Brian about the lighting. So let me give you a little background.
Thank you.
Let me give you a little background on the conversation.
I kind of heard it, but okay. I didn't know where we were in it.
I think we're right in it.
Okay.
Brian had a question about whether we could live stream it. Latasha let us know that would be a possibility. Scott had a question about, I think we all had just seen the agreement. I wasn't aware there was a cost associated with it. So Scott pointed out that with the agreement we received a few hours ago for $3,000. There was a question on that front. Brian Miller worked through what that all entails, the lighting on the outside, the lighting on the inside. And then Danielle clarified that herself and I guess there's only one other active recreation committee member got together and were okay with funding this out of the recreation budget because there were events that the recreation committee was expecting to have and obviously haven't had. And then Selena made her comments, which you just heard, and now here we are.
Okay, I totally support it. I believe that it's a good show of support for the new administration. It also recognizes for Maryland the many deaths that we've had, particularly in Prince George's County. But I think it's just something good to do for this particular time in our history. So unless there are some objections, I'd like to have a motion to approve it.
Motion to approve the $3,000 expenditure out of the Recreation Committee budget
May I get a second?
for the lighting.
For the lighting, thank you. May I get a second?
Second.
Thank you so much. Any further discussion needed? Did we hear from the audience on this one?
I have a question. This is Scott Cecil.
Yes, Scott Cecil. May we see you, please? Thank you.
Yep, my video's been on the whole time. I'm not.
I can't see. I'm sorry. Mine has been off most of the time.
That's okay. Thank you. When will the lighting go up and when will it be taken down?
That is something we can fine tune. Ideally, I'd want to get in there at least a day before so I could have a night to look at the package and make it, make it look good, and then we could take it out the day after the inauguration. Again, we could be in there at 7 o'clock in the morning if we needed to get out before people came in for office hours. We'd come in later in the day or afterwards. We're pretty flexible on that right now, but I would like to have a little bit of time. We might even be able to install it the weekend before. So, like I said, it's something we can coordinate, but I don't see that would be much of an issue. And it would only be me and maybe one other person required to install any equipment. So I'm not bringing any large crew of electricians for this. I would like, if you want to go forward with this, I would like to go down to City Hall and walk around with an engineer and look at power sources and that sort of thing, so I can really fine tune it and see exactly how we're going to accomplish this look.
Yeah, thank you so much for answering that. I'm glad there's some flexibility there. When I'm looking at the service agreement between Atmosphere Inc., I guess, and the city.
Yes.
I know on your proposal, the setup was on the 18th, and then the event is the 19th and 20th, and then removal on the 21st. So I guess where I'm at, I'm not against this, and I definitely hear what folks are saying in terms of the symbolism of this and the timing, and how, so many people are in pain, and why this could be a moment for the community to come together around something and potentially engage in some healing. But there's a part of my heart that says it feels a little bit of weird to say that we're healing when we're still in the middle of the thing that we need to heal from. But also, I can't think of anything else that's totally discretionary that we've ever done that we spend $1,000 a day on. So despite the very, very good intent behind this and the work that you've put in it, I have to vote no on this. I can't justify spending $3,000 on lighting right now. I'm sorry.
Sure.
And that's perfectly all right. The proposal was a proposal. I didn't hear a counter. So hearing no counter, is it just basically the money, or is it something else totally different?
Question for me.
Yes, definitely you.
It's the money, but also while I as I said before, while I really understand and appreciate the intent behind it, there's a part of me that feels weird about saying we're healing from something that's still happening. So I'm going to vote no on this.
Okay.
I will say I see exactly where you're coming from with this not being, in the middle of this pandemic. Hopefully this is just a part of a citywide and even nationwide numerous that's going on. And this is, again, something that's been brought about by the presidential inaugural committee. And since this inauguration is going to be so unusual than anything else, this is, I guess, an alternative way of, like I said, trying to unify the nation and bring remembrance to what we have lost already.
And see, I take a whole different kind of position than where Scott came from. If you're talking healing for the pandemic, we both know that's not there. If we're talking about healing in terms of trying to bring the nation back together to some civility, I think there is some healing that needs to take place. And if this is a place to kick that off and start it, the divisiveness that has run rampant through America over the last 4 years, and to look forward to the change that I'm hoping the Biden campaign, Biden administration is going to bring, I do believe there's some healing going to take place. I do expect us to be moving in that direction. And for me, it is symbolism. The symbolism is there for me. I hope it is there for others. I do know that there are other municipalities around the nation that's going to be doing something. And if this isn't it, then what would your proposal be to be different? Because I think we need to do something. And the proposal came from Brian and Danielle, and I thought it was fabulous, which is why I shared it.
Another question for me, or?
No questions for you at all. That was my statement.
Mayor,
Anyone else? Selena? You have the floor.
I think that was Danielle trying to speak. No, I was going to say, I think that this means different things to different. I will tell you this. At least, whatever it is, I'm in support of it. Whether it's healing for the country, whether it's healing because of everything that's going on. At the end of the day, we need to take a breath and be able to reflect and put, a pin and move on. But we need to also continue bringing awareness to the epidemic. But at the end of the day, you also have to breathe. Anyways, I support it. Thank you so much for putting this together. I think, like I said, the inauguration is going to be a bit different this year. We definitely would like to encourage people to stay locally, whether it's their house or whether it's instead of getting themselves in danger. As you guys know, between today and the 6th and the 7th, this next few days, the mayor of DC has also stated that if we could potentially have everybody not go, because there's going to be a very big demonstration from people that definitely does not like people like me, obviously, but I think it has to be the way I said it's we put something in here like we've done with many events, so that we could bring our community also together for healing. Anyways, I'm supported. I'll stay at that. And I think I heard Danielle was in the background as well.
I wanted to interject one other thing. This is separate from the lighting. When I found out that the Recreation Committee was basically sponsoring this, we put our heads together and started thinking of something that would be more of a long-term symbol after the lights go out. And one of the things that we considered was sponsoring white ribbons, people to tie white ribbons, bows around their trees, around the trees down in City Hall, in memory of and continuing that honor of those people who are losing their lives. So taking the memorial and extending it, kind of like when we have, guys go off to war, like during Desert Storm, we tied yellow ribbons all over Fort Jackson, and we left them up until the last soldier was home. So I was thinking that we could also sponsor that in the city. I did some looking, and we can get some white sateen type ribbon to give to citizens here in the city, who want to participate, and they can tie a white ribbon around a tree, their front porch, banister, in their window in the apartments or whatever. So we're not wanting to just do the one and done with the lighting. We really want to make this a unifying thing. A tragedy.
Okay. I think we kind of got that.
Okay.
So there's a motion on the floor And I didn't hear anybody call the question, so I will call it. All those in favor of going forward with the memorial, the inaugural support, let me hear aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
No.
Okay. I heard Brian, I heard Luke, I didn't hear you, Selena.
Selena, I'm an I.
And Melinda's an aye. Thank you so very much. Very much appreciated. Let us know how we can be supportive in getting that out. I do not believe that this motion carried with it, the ribbons or whatever, is strictly for the lighting. And if the Recreation Committee wants to do something else, please do it. But this is strictly for the lighting as I understand it. Correct? All right.
That is correct. This is just for the lighting.
All right. Thank you so very much. And Danielle and Brian, thank you both for coming up with such a creative idea. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. So are you trying to speak, Brian Netler? Okay.
I
Then,
have a question, Mayor. This is Scott Cecil.
okay, Scott.
So is the vote that y'all just voted yes on the proposal that we got from Brian Miller? Or was it just that we were going to move forward with the plan?
The vote is to have the plan implemented, and Latasha will take care of the MOU, which gives her the authority, which she has the authority to do based on the fact that the mayor and council said it's a yes.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
will be able to get a more detailed.
Brian, this subject is closed. Thank you so much. Anything else you need to do, work it out with the city manager.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to item number 5, please. Luke, will you please read that for me?
Sure. This is old business ordinance 10/2020, amending section 6112 of the Mount Rainier Code. And I can go into that if folks would like. I know we've beat this to death. We should have the clean proposal in front of us that should contain everybody's comments from the last work session. So this has been at a legislative session and 2 work sessions. And now here we are with a clean copy.
So what I need from you, Brian, is a brief summary of what we're being asked to vote on tonight. We don't have to go through the whole thing again.
Okay. So this amends section 6112 of the current Mount Rainier City Code. It changes the name of the section to landscaping to better clarify what this section of the code is about. It creates definitions for turf grass and prohibitions on the height of turf grass. It creates definitions for invasive plants and noxious weeds that match what the state of Maryland has for those definitions. And it creates landscaping requirements that give more clarity to both residents and our code department in when a yard will be sort of in violation of our landscaping requirements, which will be based on evidence of neglect or abandonment, presence of trash, debris, litter, or garbage, impact on neighboring properties, and any unmanaged presence of those invasive plants or noxious weeds. It also carves off several exceptions. Exceptions are probably not the right term. It carves out how we will treat natural habitats, which still can't infringe on people's on neighboring properties or create a fire hazard, things of that nature. And then it spells out that any violation she'll first be issued a door hanger notifying them of the violation, including a description, a photograph, and any appeal process. And then it tells them that the subsequent violation and appeal process will be governed by the section of the code that deals with those processes. To the extent that there are any conflicts with another section of the code, 3A105, this section would govern. And that, I believe, is a fair reading of the.
Is there a need for any further discussion by any of the council members?
I would just, this is Brian Nedler. I think this is a small thing. John can fix it easily before we sign it, but it says it's introduced by Luke Chesick. It should be council member.
Say it again.
He should have his council member title in front of his name for introducing this. It's just a little thing. I think it's, it should be there.
I think they can clean it up on the screen, but in terms
they don't need to do it now. They just need to do it before we sign it. That's all.
Thank you. But is it No, it has nothing to do with the substance of the issue.
Exactly.
But are there any substantive issues in there that we need to address? Because otherwise, I'd like a motion to approve. It has had 2 readings. It has had been in the work session at least twice, and we've had other sideline discussion.
To approve.
I've got the table, so I move. I'll
sorry,
move
Brian.
to approve it. 10.
All right, I have a motion from Brian to approve with the changing of Luke Chesick to Councilmember Luke Chesick. May I get a second?
Second.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor of the motion to approve ordinance 10-2020 as amended, amending section 6 please don't keep moving it. I had eye issues today with the doctor.
I was making it bigger for you. That's what I was trying to do, but I won't touch it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So whatever it is, I have a motion and a second. All those in, any discussion from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor, let it be known by aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, it's approved. Thank you. May I get to the next issue, please? The next item on there is ordinance 11-2020, budget amendment number 1. Latasha, give us a full summary, or not without reading the entire document.
Yes, ma'am. Ordinance 11-2020 is amending the budget. Whereas the City of Mount Rainier budget for fiscal year 2021 was adopted by ordinance number 04-2020 on June 2020. And whereas it has been deemed necessary to amend the budget for fiscal year 2021. Is that good for you?
Give us some numbers.
Okay. This budget amendment will adjust the contingency line item from $64,377 to $487,000. So adding $487,000. So that gives it a revised contingency of $551,377. Adjusting the building maintenance line item for Public Works from $15,000 to add $10,000 for a total of $25,000. We will decrease contingency by $10,000 for building maintenance, basically for the $25,000 insurance deductible. Also, we will adjust the economic development ED programs from $0 to $100,000. Increase the general government, and that's for the $1 million incentive fund, what I just went over. Also, to increase the pay of city employees, and that adjustment is a total of $23,325. Also adjust the principal loan line item for the police department to $36,364. And the last, it's a lot more, sorry. Also,
so I guess what I think we need for the record is that this budget amendment is going to be a total of how much that we're going to be amending the budget by, and basically the why. So we're amending it because there's some item adjustments that are being made, and the total amount of the amendment is $551,377,000.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
All right. Is that a fair enough summary for everyone else? Council?
I'm good.
All right, may I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve budget amendment as described by the city manager.
Thank you so much, Scott. I appreciate that. May I get a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to approve the budget amendment and the amount of, as stated, let it be known by aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, the budget has been amended as set forth in the document. Let's go to resolution 01-2020, municipal greenhouse gases resolution. That one has also been out there a number of times. Luke, give me a fair summary.
I'm going to turn it over to Joseph Jakuta to give us.
No, you cannot do that, Mr. Chesick. The document has to have a fair summary from the council. Cannot get a fair summary from the audience at this point.
Okay, that sounds good. So hold on, let me pull up. Let me pull
I'll
up.
give you a few minutes to put it together.
Yeah.
I can help you out here if you'd like, if that's in order, Mayor.
Yes.
I would love for you to help him out, Scott. Thank you.
We were all already a yes on this, and I actually postponed it because I asked for one thing to be added, which was some language about climate justice. Joseph Chikuta authored that, and we shared it with you at the last work session. So this is essentially putting the city on a track in a non-binding resolution to reduce carbon emissions output by city municipal activity. And I look forward to voting yes on it.
All right. Thank you so much. Any further discussion from the council?
Mayor?
You have the floor, Councilmember Benitez.
Yeah, I'm a little confused because I believe it was binding. If we do not do A through, the different recollections, we will have to pay into a fund to be able to carbon zero out. So there is some binding going along. It's not just we wish to get this done. It does says that if by she says the city of Rainier should purchase carbon offsets to offset any additional greenhouse emissions emitted through the city operations by 2030 at the latest. If we have not done this, if we don't have made the improvements mentioned above, so there is some binding on it. I just want to make sure it's clear, because if it needs to be adjusted by future council members, they do have the ability to do it. But the idea is to keep the dates as as the same, so that we have a goal to aim at.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but is there a cost? If they don't do it, is there a penalty? And I don't believe there is. It's an agreement that gets relooked at by the green gas levels by 2030 to reach a net zero by 2050. And as I think you stated, and as someone else stated earlier, the next council may decide to vote this completely out. Where are we today on it? And that's what I think we were headed. So if nothing else is there, I think I had a motion to pass. If not, may I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
All right, may I get a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Yes.
All right.
I appreciate the comment. It's non-binding. That's what resolutions mean.
Okay.
To the mayor's point, we could all be replaced in 5 years and they vote to do something different. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but that's literally what a resolution means. So
Okay.
I'm glad we're doing it, but I want to make sure that we're being clear to the public about what this actually does and does not do.
The motion has been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor of the motion as presented, at the resolution as presented, let it be known by aye.
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 That's 2 ayes. Do I get a third? I got a third. Do I have a fourth? I didn't hear you, Scott.
Aye.
Okay, the motion is passed. Thank you so much. May I go to the next item on the agenda, please? The charter amendment, 01/2020 elections. Latasha, would you give us a review of that, please? Just a summary. There were some changes made, and just say what they are.
Mayor and council will conduct the second reading and vote on the charter amendments CA-01-2020, amending section 502 voter registration to permit residents of the city who are 16 years old or older to vote in city elections, to require that a person running for elective office be at least 18 years of age, and to alter the composition and terms of the city's Board of Elections, and to provide that there is a city supplemental voter registration list.
All right, that's what the ordinance is going to do, and that's the charter change. Any further discussion? Hearing none, may I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve charter amendment 1/2020 elections.
Second.
Get a second. Seconded by Selena. Any further discussion? Hearing none, may I get all those in favor of the charter amendment CA-01/2020 elections, let it be known by aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, the charter amendment has been approved. Let's go to new business ordinance, number 9, ordinance 01-2021, amending section 11-110 to eliminate the requirement of an appointment in December, January, and February for yard waste. I think you introduced that, Brian.
Yeah, there's not much to say other than we're basically fixing the code to match up with what Public Works actually does. So it's just, yeah. And they will collect without an appointment on the second Monday of the month.
Any further discussions? Anybody want to say anything else about it? I'll tell you, I honestly forgot we had that in there and that we've been through it, but I totally support it.
This is a first reading, Mayor.
Oh, okay, but I still totally support it.
This is Scott. I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Brian, or the mayor, you'll know the answer to. These are the only 3 months where it says you have to schedule an appointment, right?
Yes.
Pretty much, yes, absolutely.
Well, no, if you want a special pickup, you can do that. But
that's special, but just regular pickup. Yeah.
I'm just surprised I never ever knew that till you brought this up. So thank you for finding that, Brian. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right, so we'll have it back at work session. If you have any changes, we'll bring it back for a second reading at the February meeting. Thank you so much. May I get to the next item, please? Am I at number 10 already?
I was like, is there a next item?
Ma'am.
Oh, wow. Mayor and council reports, if you have any. Not announcements, reports. All right, I'm gonna go, since Scott's about to shake his head off, I'm going to Scott first. Then to do that, I'm gonna go to Brian, then I'm gonna go to Luke, because Luke was right there. Yeah, let's do this.
That handshaking night.
I'll get you all out of here before 8 o'clock if you just work.
7:51. That's why I'm so excited.
Work with me, baby. Work with me.
I just wanted to make sure you were going to see me. I've got 3 things, I think. Let me just pull this up here. There were some. So the first one is door-to-door solicitation. There was some back and forth about this on Facebook over the last couple of days. I did check with the city manager and the code compliance staff, and we have not issued any permits for door-to-door solicitation. So if somebody comes and knocks on your doors and says they're raising money for whatever nonprofit or other entity, and they say they have a permit, they are lying. The police department did make a note to tell me that sometimes people will do this because they're trying to case your house or check to see if anybody's home to rob you. But even if they're not doing that and they actually are collecting money, they're not supposed to do it without a permit. And the city, according to our permit tech, has not issued any permits for door-to-door solicitation in at least 2 years. So if someone comes and knocks on your door for that, they probably shouldn't be doing it during the pandemic anyway, but they don't have a permit. The second thing is the parking petition that we did discuss at the last work session. So the report back that I'm giving, I guess the only way I can put it is that despite the intent of this process, it's not working because the residents are confused about what the requirements are. We're confused about what the requirements are. The city manager was waiting for us to make a move. Then at the last meeting, we said we wanted her to certify it. When I spoke with code staff about it today, per the city manager's permission, they thought they were waiting for the city manager to do something with it. So now it's been, 6+ weeks since it's been submitted, and we have nothing to tell the residents who signed it. So we really need to figure out what's going on here and figure out if they have even submitted enough petitions for us to even consider the petition in the first place. So if anybody has any suggestions on how we move forward, I'd love to hear those. And then the final thing, I was reading today that the state of New York extended its blanket eviction moratorium through the end of June of this year. And I really appreciate the work that Brian did and everything he did to make sure that landlords here in the city are complying with state and county law. And that's what we decided to do. But I would really like us to revisit doing something bigger than that if we can. I know that I had worked on some stuff last year, put together some potential proposals. The city attorney gave some feedback on those. And I think there's more that we can potentially do. So I'll definitely be reaching out to the rest of you on the council about that, because the federal moratorium on evictions ends at the end of this month, January 2021. And we have no reason to believe that it'll be extended, especially if the Republicans maintain control of the Senate. And I don't want to find us in the position, almost a year into the pandemic with people now facing eviction, if there's a way for us to avoid that. So I'd like for us to try to do more, and I will do everything I can to see that through. That's all I have for now.
Thank you so very much. Anyone else? Hearing, I see your hand, Luke. You have the floor. I was going to go to Brian. I actually gave an order. I went Luke.
Yeah, you were going to go to Brian.
I went Brian. I said Luke, then Selena. So actually, Brian should have the floor.
Brian has the floor.
Happy New Year, everyone. Hopefully it's going to be a better year than last. And I'm trying to help the mayor reach her goal of being out of here by 8. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. Luke?
All right, I'm going to try to keep it brief. Maryland Historic Trust. I get the name wrong. We have a signed agreement. We got $100,000 from MHA, $100,000 more dollars from Memorial Park, which is awesome, of grant money for the city. So that's $300,000 that the city's, going to get reimbursed on that project. Working with Latasha, Latasha and I got on a call with Kamali and Jack Sullivan. The RFP is out on Memorial Park. So there are some design build firms who are looking to bid on that, hopefully. Latasha and I chatted a bit about this based on some feedback that Jack gave us. A design build firm would do the engineering and the build. So it would be, you just have to do one RFP and then it's all done. Jack is, I think in our conversations, I think Kamali is a little bit concerned that we may not get a good bid back, in which case there may have to be a plan B about doing an engineering bid first to get the stamps and then do a bid to the contractor. So just throwing that out there in case that has to come up at a mayor and council meeting. But just wanted to update people there, but that bid is out. The Native Plant Network legislation that we passed, the Green Team is doing implementation work on that now. So at our next Green Team meeting, which I believe is next, hold on a second, next Monday at 7 p.m. If folks want to join, let me know. We're going through implementation there. And then we had a presentation from the Queens Chapel Road sector plan folks. After that call, I reached out to them and I shared with them what we had talked about on that call, which was the Kaywood Theater plan and the Mount Rainier Bike Master Plan. So I shared that with them so they have access to that as they start to develop the plan for Queens Chapel Road. And those are the projects that I wanted to update folks on.
Thank you so much. Selena?
I'll make mine very brief. At the beginning of the conversation, I said I was going to give you guys the time for the neighborhood food pantry for Saturdays now instead of Wednesdays. And the time is 9:30 in the morning. So put that in your calendars if you need help and resources. The food pantry meets on 29 and Allison, and it's going to be happening Saturdays now at 9:30 instead of Wednesday. And this is starting this week. And I'm excited to say the Capricorn Food Bank and Cinema Rainier have extended their agreement to continue to providing food. At this point, it's going to reach until March, and then from March, we'll reassess to figure out if it's needed for a little longer time. But also, the other set of partners that we have at that give food at the fire station, they get food this morning, 700 boxes. So if it continues like on Tuesday, 700, and on Thursday, 1,000, that'll be at least 1,700 boxes a week that'll be coming to immediately to this community. So today was fruits and vegetables. So it is usually a different kind of box, so it balances out a little bit of meal. So that at least helps our residents be able to provide some food in order to be able to, move that money to something else that might need, or at least be able to, have food. But anyways, saying all that, we had very successful holiday events when it came to the Christmas with Santa. I think that between the fire department, the PD and the fire department, they covered the whole entire city. So that was a lot of work put together. I know the mayor helped on some, the staff helped a lot as well, the fire department, the police department, but it was definitely well received by our residents. And lastly, but not least, tomorrow, the Latino liaison from Prince George's County that I'm part of, we are going to be hosting Dia de los Tres Reyes Magos, which is like a first, it's an inauguration one. So they're hoping the county that they'll do this every year. For people who know, it's especially a lot for the, I guess, Latino community, but the migrant community. It's a very important day tomorrow. So they're going to have a Zoom event, obviously, because of COVID. We want to make sure we take every precaution. Various people have registered, and we'll have lively events. If you haven't registered, I'll put the link on the page, and feel free to register, even if you do not, even if you want to learn about the culture or what it is basically going to be like neighbors, you know, enjoying some fun together. So I think that's a good thing. It's like family friendly. So saying that, we are finalizing that's the last little bit of the census grant information that we had to submit. As you guys remember, we won $19,000 to be able to do census work. So all the census work done in the city for the past months was paid from a grant. So it didn't come out of our budget. So that helped us out a lot. So we're working on that right now, and excited to, like, you know, get all the information across and put as part of our records of the work that we did. And tomorrow there's a big evaluation that they're going to be doing to figure out where to move forward in order to learn for things that were good and the things that we need to work on. So I'll stay at that. It's 8 o'clock.
And so I shouldn't say a word, right? If I speak for 2 minutes,
Sorry.
we'll be past 8 o'clock, and I don't mind passing 8 o'clock. I apologize for getting on here late. I did have technical difficulties with the computer, but there are a couple of things that we really need to follow up on. The sector plan is having a meeting, and we need to make sure that those items are on the website agenda. There's also a school boundary meeting coming up for the northern area as well as the rest of the county. Please check your dates and put those out there for me. I did send them out to council and to Latasha. The Christmas baskets, I always say we did 1,000. It's 1,000 families we did, but we did 2,516 bags of groceries, which I would like to say was a great effort in our city. Thank you all so very much. I'd like to wish all of you a much better 2021 as it relates to COVID. But for everything else, I think we'll be absolutely successful. The elections are coming up for the mayor's position and for two city council members. I understand there are a lot of folks out there ready to be mayor, and I'm probably very ready to give it to them. So as of this moment, I have not totally decided to run or not run, but if you want to bet on me not running, you'll probably win. May I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
May I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Nice.
Opposed? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you. It is 8:02. Have a great evening.